Okay, welcome back to our top 5 series. This episode is about the top 5 questions or the top 5 things you need to know before moving to another recruitment company or starting a career in recruitment. Number 1 for us, and this is something which a lot of people miss. We interview a lot of people, right?
A lot.
at least
20
10
a week.
Yeah,
20.
10 to 20 a week at least, right? So I think the number 1 thing to understand is, how does a commission structure work in detail? You know, I think a lot of people, when I interview them, have been interviewing with other recruitment companies. And I always ask them, okay, you're interviewing with this company. How does a commission structure work? You've had an interview there. Very, very few people can explain to me in detail what they're going to be getting into. So, you know, recruitment is about many things, but it is a career which allows you to actually earn a significant amount of money in relation to the effort that you put in. So take your time in the interview. If you don't understand it, because some commission schemes are
Complicated.
complicated but still very good, take your time to really understand, and that's going to help if you get 2 or 3 offers. That's going to be part of the comparison to decide which way you're going to go.
So the number 2 point is, you know, understand your promotion targets, and in general, like targets around the business as well, right? So of course, you know, if you join, you know, any recruitment company, you know, most people that come into the recruitment industry generally are quite ambitious and, you know, self-motivated type of people. So career progression is a big part of, it should be a big part of your decision making. I think there are lots of different pro and cons, more complicated, less complicated aspect of, you know, promotion targets. Again, same as the commission, just make sure you understand them, you know, especially if it's complicated or discretionary, just try to get to the bottom of it. Maybe also an advice would be, do a bit of research, you know. I think LinkedIn is a great tool, I think, to do research, you know. Have a look how often the people in that business got promoted, you know, how long is the average promotion timing in that company, you know. And of course, you know, again, ask the CEO or whoever you're talking to in that company, and then get some confirmation. Ideally, you know, you might not get it in writing on an offer. I think it's difficult to get it, but try to get, again, some tangibles, I think, of from different companies, because that should be a big part of your decision making, I think.
Okay, so point number 3 is you should ask about the staff turnover percentage, ideally, in the companies that you're considering joining. So this can vary wildly from company to company. There's some companies in this market that have almost 50% staff turnover.
And they are designed to have that,
yeah,
you know.
That's part of their plan. Some companies are extremely stable. That can also sometimes be a negative, you know, because maybe the company's static and your career will be static if you join that kind of company. So really get a feel for how long do people tend to stay in this company that you're considering. If they do have very high staff turnover, don't be afraid to ask why. It's a reasonable question if you're going to join a business. Why do people typically leave your company, right? I think if someone asked me that, I think it'd be a great question. I'd be impressed by that too.
Absolutely.
And I think you need to know.
And there's no right or wrong, you know. It could be that, you know, the company has been really successful for 10 years and, you know, at the end of a cycle, maybe some of the senior management left to do something else, and they experience a little bit of turnover over the last period of time. And that's not necessarily bad, you know. It could be a great opportunity if you want to join that company.
Yeah.
So point number 4 is, what are the expectations for you in the first 3 months, you know? So each company has different expectation for you. Whatever you are, a researcher maybe, or you're a manager joining a team, you should have first of all, like a bit of an idea of which objective, you know, the company has given you to achieve basically in that period of time. But also, you know, how does it work with probation? You know, like they're gonna automatically pass probation, they have to do certain thing. Who's gonna decide about your probation period? Anything about, again, expectation and what you expected to do within the first 3 months, I think should be highlighted during your interview with a company, just to be totally clear and to make sure that there are no surprises after you join the company. And of course, what you are told at the interview stages should be the same after you join the company.
Yeah, and I think the last point I think it's really important to clarify is you really need to understand what is the vision of the company that you're going to join, right? I think different companies have different visions.
For different people,
For
to
different-
cater for.
Yeah, to cater for different people. But I think you've got to think about, what do you want out of your career in the short term, in the medium term, and does the vision of the company match that? Does the vision of the company allow you to achieve what you want to achieve personally, right? And I think, I've asked that question to people before when I've interviewed for jobs, and some people have a very clear vision, and I've personally found that very attractive. Some people, it's almost like they've been asked the question for the first time, and maybe you want to take a step back and think, is this a really static company where they just want somebody to come in and make a bit of money for them? Yeah. Or is there a set vision and path for the company? So I think it's a great question to ask on this list.